3, 2, 1, go.
What's up, everybody? My name is Michael Lee Murphy. I'm one half of the Brothers Murphy. It's time for Meta Game Minute, a weekly segment where we talk about something about board games that's been on our mind. And what I've got on the mind is legacy games. Recently, I've played some legacy games, or I'm in the middle of some, and I've, in general, this year played more legacy games than ever before. And so I am curious, based off of this, I've played in general some legacy campaign games that are co-op and some that are competitive. And I'm curious, do the competitive legacy games work as well as maybe a cooperative legacy game, being that this is going to be an epic experience that everyone goes through together. You can only play through once because you're tearing up cards, putting stickers on things, or whatever that legacy game might be providing for you. I wonder how successful they can be if they're competitive, or if you've played a competitive legacy game, how did it leave you feeling at the end of it? So a couple of experiences I've been through. One on the competitive side, really positive. One was fine. I played My City. My City is a competitive legacy game, polyomino tiles that you're placing down by Reiner Knizia, and I had so much fun with it. I super came in last place out of the three with my brother and my fiance, and I didn't mind that much because every game is kind of so bite-sized and easy. It was just fun to go through. The flip side to that, I played the campaign of Charterstone, the digital app that came out for Charterstone, and I had plenty of fun playing. But I had this experience where halfway through, there's 12 games you're playing, halfway through, I was like, okay, I am not going to be winning this. I've come in the middle of the pack this whole time. That is going to continue. I am not going to be able to overcome this because it's sort of this engine building game in a way that takes place over several games. You build up this engine and I just didn't build as good of a one. And I was like, okay, I have 6 more games and I'm not going anywhere. So that didn't ruin my time. I had fun. And one thing to note is I was playing Charterstone with people who had played before. So they had more knowledge of what buildings were good and were not. So I came into that experience not at an advantage. But it was one of those things that after 12 games, literally the first game we played, I tied with someone for first and then never won a game out of all the campaign ever again. And, you know, I don't have to win to have a good time, but it's like, man, even if I don't win the whole thing, it would be nice to know that I had one game that worked really well and I did really great. And then that just never happened for me. And, you know, that's okay. But it was one thing that was kind of like, man, I feel like I don't get to experience the same thing that other people are experiencing because it's just not going well for me and I don't have as much ability to work my way out of this. And you know, like I said, that's okay. So I'm curious, have you played competitive legacy games and have really enjoyed yourself? That whether or not you won or lost, it just really, you dug it. Like I said, My City was bite-sized enough and easy enough to play that I really enjoyed myself despite coming very much in last place. Charterstone, I came middle of the pack and I didn't have as much fun. But things like Pandemic Legacy or like a Gloomhaven, a big campaign game, are really fun because you're always working together towards something. And I feel like maybe that is what legacy games are just going to be better suited for, is a big cooperative epic experience that you go through together. You get to share these stories, these triumphs and these defeats together as a group because you are doing this big epic thing together as a group. To me, it just makes more sense. But I want to know your experiences with competitive legacy games in particular, because I've had a real mixed bag and I just don't know if... I think it's a harder job to say. I'm not saying it can't be good, but I think it's harder to pull off. I really do. But let me know your thoughts on competitive legacy games in particular. And if you've played any legacy games, let me know in the comments below which ones you enjoyed, which ones maybe fell flat, if any did. Hopefully none did, because it is an epic undertaking. Let me know all of that in the comments below. And just remember that whether or not you like to be super competitive over this long epic campaign and you don't care if your friends lose or you win or whatever, or if you want to play together on these big epic experiences like me, the more meta, the more better. Thanks so much for joining me for another Meta Game Minute. If you want to see Nick's Meta Game Minute from last week, check it out right there. If you peep this little window down here, it's probably going to have a top 10 or something super cool. And don't forget to subscribe and turn the bell on so you get notifications every time we have a new video. And that's all I got. Have a good day.